Hey Scott, hey everyone else, welcome back to Four Running Shoes. So I have been on a bit of a out of season sort of base building phase, like running into a marathon block that I've been kind of aiming for now. It's been over a year, probably a year and a half, that I kind of decided, a year and a half ago, I decided this was going to be the marathon that I'm going to run. And yeah, it's all coming up to this big event, this one day where everything has to go perfect, apparently. But no, it's okay if it doesn't go the way I want it to go. It's okay. But the dream has been doing under 3 hours for the marathon, and I'm really excited about that. I think it'll be awesome if I can do it. And the only question is like, is it realistic or is it silly to try and even go for it? So that's the question I'm trying to be an answer as I'm coming out of the base building phase and moving into my actual block. There is a bit of an opportunity now because I'm about to start properly training for the marathon, being very specific about my training, where I can just be like, maybe I'll just give it a little bit longer before I actually try for the sub 3, and I'll just aim for 3:10 or something like that, because like all of those times will be PBs for me. I've only done 3:24 before in the marathon, so yeah, I think if I don't run a PB in this, it'll be very something will go wrong for that to happen. It's been going, a lot of the base building stuff has been really on point. I'm pretty much at my fittest I've ever been, I think. And I'm most conditioned to the marathon that I've ever been. Like I just think even if the marathon was like a week or two away, I think I would do an amazing PB. So I've got 12 more weeks to kind of get into a good, perfect position. So it'll be interesting to see how it all turns out. But coming into the start of the block, I've been doing a little bit of testing, kind of to see how I'm performing. Mainly going to talk about, I think it's one. Like I'll mention two of them, but focus in on one key test that I did this week. So I've done a few. So I've been doing a lot of long running, a lot of tempo stuff, like just quicker than zone 2 training, zone 3. So one of the tests I did last weekend, was a 30K run where I kind of just kept a consistent pace, but I lapped at basically halfway in the middle of it and compared my heart rate at the beginning to the first half to the second half to see if, without my pace increasing, whether my heart rate increased dramatically. And I was really happy that it didn't. It sort of stayed kind of within zone 2, kind of like just creeping up to the top of zone 2, maybe teetering into zone 3 right at the end. And that's really good. Only gained like 9 beats per minute over the 30K run. And yeah, felt pretty decent. Fueling went well. It was just a good run. So it's making me feel a bit more confident. Because yeah, if you see dramatic increases in your heart rate from the first half to the second half, it means you're just not conditioned to running that fast. So it seems like I've got some good conditioning, and like there was a lot of sun. Like I started running in the dark and then the sun came up, and so the second lap was a lot harder. So that was a good run to kind of see that, yeah, I'm getting better at running longer distances and being more efficient with that. The next one was a 3 by 20 minutes, which was a good run as well. That was really testing out 3-hour marathon pace. And yeah, unfortunately, my heart rate was getting pretty high towards the end, so it definitely is not, boding well as far as having sort of the perfect heart rate. In fact, I've talked to my coach a bit about that today, so I'll chuck in a clip of that. But the really cool one that my coach will touch on is the lactate threshold test. And I'll just throw it over to him and he can kind of explain those two sort of workouts.
All right. So from like this was a pretty good, like if we're always keeping in our mind sub 3, like that's what we want to achieve. We're looking pretty good here, like the last 20 minutes I saw was just under 4. So like it's a tick. It's not like the biggest tick, but it's definitely, it at least goes, okay, we're it's not realistic.
Mhm.
Okay, it's one of the first ones. Then what I'd want to be looking at then is jumping into this 3x20,
Mhm.
seeing what we got here. Now, so for there. So all not, I wouldn't say considerably faster, but definitely faster than sub 3, or like 3 if we're calling it 3-hour pace, like a 4:15. So that's pretty good. But then like you can see how high, like I can see you're working pretty hard
Yeah.
in this. So I'll just have a look at grade adjusted pace. Yeah, so it's like it's a reasonably flat track, so it's not like,
Yeah.
it's doing massive hills or anything. But yeah, to be so then what I want to do is double check your thresholds for heart rate.
Mm.
So you can see here in the first one, like that's where I'd want to see how it stabilizes just kind of briefly through there.
Mm.
So, oops, sorry. I'd want to kind of see that for the remainder of that interval. And then this one is showing it's like top of zone 4. It's stable, but it's probably more like sub threshold stable, because by the time we're getting near the end of the hour, 3x20 being like an hour, you take another step up to just above threshold heart rate. And that's where I'm like, okay, like at that pace, and I mean, you're like, by that one, you're running 4:08, like that's quite a bit faster.
Mm.
When we're talking about like these small margins.
Yeah.
And so yeah, that's like, at this stage we've still got 12 weeks, or from this workout it's more like 15, but from this is, I'm like, oh, okay.
So yeah, I think like the coach and I kept chatting. Will we kept chatting for a bit, and then I guess kind of like the leaving point from the coaching call is like, it's a very maybe. It's possible if everything goes perfect. It's possible I run sub 3 hours, but it's right on the line, and it's like, and something encouraging he said was like, it may not be this time. Maybe you'll run a big PB and you'll do under 3 hours 10, 3:04, 3:05, somewhere in there. But he reckons within 6 months, not that I'll do another marathon within 6 months, but kind of like with that, he said like running age, like as you get older as a runner, like your, I don't know, just like your running age, like the longer you've been running. I haven't heard that term before, but he said that really plays a big part in marathon running. So he says as my running age increases, it's just inevitable that I will break that barrier one day. So that's exciting, and that's how I feel as well. I think this will be close. Like maybe I'll do it this time, but yeah, I'm sure it'll happen soon, like next year or whenever I do my next marathon. Like it's gonna happen. So I'm excited about that, and I'm even looking beyond that to like some even quicker times. So I'm excited to think about that as I do that. But it'd be awesome to kind of just tick that off this time, 3 hours. As hard as it is going to be, yeah, we'll commit to it and see how we go, and then just try and run smart and not too optimistically on the day. So yeah, that's the plan. I'm excited for it. 12 weeks of training, here we go. Yeah, make sure you follow along for the journey. Yeah, I'm really excited to share that video with you when it comes out in the next 10 to 12 weeks. But in the meantime, Scott and I make weekly videos, and yeah, Scott, you're setting a new habit at the moment with your running. Yeah, I'm sure you'll get into that as you get into routine with the year, and things just start becoming routine. That'll be really good. It'll be great to have you running again, and yeah, it'd be fun for us to go for a run, but I know it's tricky with travel and just time these days for us to go running together. But yeah, it always sounds nice. I thought we'd go for a run together, and I guess in a way we get to do that through the YouTube channel, just sharing our runs together. Anyway, I'll catch you guys in my next video, and make sure you check out Scott's on Tuesday next week. See ya.